Wolf, it is a loss a little greater than what was expected, a loss of $3.06 per share last quarter for Tesla. The expectation was for a loss of $2.92, but don't get hung up on that number. The estimates were all over the place. They were moving around quite a bit in the last week. In terms of revenue, came in right at $4 billion, just a smidge better than expectations.
I'd like to apologize for, being implied on the prior call. Honestly, I think there's really no excuse for bad manners, and I was kind of violating my own rule in that regard. That certainly I have some excuse. There are reasons for it, and that I've gotten no sleep, and been working sort of current 10-hour or 20-hour weeks. But nonetheless, there's still no excuse. My apologies for not being polite on the prior call.
This is all source reporting by the Financial Times. They are putting that the Saudi Public Investment Fund has built up this undisclosed stake. They're putting a size of it, about 3 to 5% of the total shares of the company, so a 3 to 5% stake. They are saying that, again, those sources familiar say that that stake is now worth between $1.7 and around $2.9 billion. A tweet came out from Elon Musk's verified Twitter account saying, quote, "Am considering taking Tesla private at $420 a share, funding secured." Now, Scott and gang, this is from his verified account. We have now not verified whether that it was a hack, whether it was a true tweet from him. We've reached out to Tesla. We are reaching out to Elon Musk to see if this is in fact what he wanted to say. But that was the reason why those shares went higher. We should say right now that Tesla shares are halted as of this moment for news pending. So Tesla may be looking to make some kind of a statement here, but again, a trading halt right now. That is the latest on the Tesla shares. As you can see, they're halted right now, $367.25.
Last week, Elon opened a discussion with the board about taking the company private. This included discussion as to how being private could better serve Tesla's long-term interests and also address the funding for this to occur. The board has met several times over the last week and is taking the appropriate next steps to evaluate this. This is a statement from members of the board, including Buss, Denholm, Gracias, Rice, and James Murdoch.
Headlines just crossing the wire now from Dow Jones saying the SEC has made inquiries to Tesla over Elon Musk's take private tweet. That's according to sources. The SEC also inquired as to why the disclosure was made on Twitter, and the headlines show that the regulator is examining whether Musk's statement via Twitter was truthful.
There was a Bloomberg report indicating that SEC investigators may be probing some of Elon Musk's tweets prior to the one that was sent out on Tuesday, where he indicated that he had secured funding to take the company private. We should point out that there is no indication that there is a formal investigation yet that has been opened by the SEC. All we have are reports that the SEC is looking into these tweets, and now this other report from Bloomberg that they are looking into other tweets or communication from Elon Musk.
The Tesla board, I'm told, is going to meet with financial advisors next week. And they are likely to say to Elon Musk that he should recuse himself from the board as the board reviews a potential take private. I'm also told what's likely to happen is the board will set up an independent special committee, maybe of a few of the board members, a smaller group, to review a proposal. I don't have any particular detail about what this proposal may look like, the structure of it, or again, whether or not there's actually committed financing, which is the big question here.
So are we to believe Azealia Banks in thinking that he was scrounging for investors after he realized what he'd done?
Well, thank you for bringing that up. And if you look at her tweets yesterday and the write-ups of them, they suggest that he wasn't actually in his right mind. He was under the influence of something when he posted that tweet. So hard to say. I mean,
she's pretty controversial.
She's controversial, and
we have no confirmation that that happened.
Sure.
Right?
From what I read, she's not always a reliable source.
This is a blog post from Elon Musk updating where the company stands with discussions about potentially going private. Also, a first clear explanation, and at least a more detailed explanation from Elon Musk about the tweet that he sent out last Tuesday, where he said, considering going private at $420 a share, funding secured. And it's those last two words that got a lot of attention.
Elon Musk announcing on Twitter he's working with Goldman Sachs and Buyout firm Silver Lake on his plan to take Tesla private. Musk says, quote, I'm excited to work with Silver Lake and Goldman Sachs as financial advisors, plus Wachtell Lipton, Rosen & Katz, and Munger, Tolles & Olson as legal advisors on that proposal to take Tesla private. Sources tell Reuters that Silver Lake hasn't been hired in an official capacity and is not currently discussing taking part in a potential deal as an investor. Tesla announcing the formation of a special committee to evaluate Elon Musk's proposal to take the company private. The automaker says the committee has not, and this is important, has not received a formal proposal from Musk and has not reached any conclusion on the advisability of such a deal.
They have moved Tesla to not rated status. Goldman says that it's acting as a financial advisor in connection with a matter that is fundamental to the reasonable analysis of the rating and price target for this stock meaning Tesla.
The Securities and Exchange Committee has reportedly now served Tesla with a subpoena after Elon Musk tweet that he's considering taking the company private and had necessary funding lined up. A subpoena would be the first step in a formal inquiry about all of this, guys.
According to Dow Jones, there are 3 questions that the SEC are focusing on, at least 3 questions. The first one, did Musk tweet about potential deal in order to hurt short sellers? In other words, what was his intent here? Was it truly just to notify investors of a potential deal? Or is it his way of saying, you know what, I'm tired of dealing with you guys? What did Musk tell directors about a potential deal? Were there previous communications? Were there text messages? Were there discussions? What was the conversation between him and the directors, if there was any? And that really is the third question as well. What communications did Musk have with the Tesla board of directors?
I think his emotional state and the fact that he is just so stressed and acknowledges what a difficult chapter it's been and how he continues to struggle personally as the company also faces some setbacks even before the tweet is interesting. It does seem absolutely like it's getting to him, and I don't think you're far off saying it sounds like he's almost on the verge of a meltdown.
Elon Musk is rejecting a plea from Arianna Huffington to slow down and rest. Huffington posted an open letter to Musk on Friday along with a tweet saying, quote, Dear Elon, please change the way you work to be more in line with the science around how humans are most effective. You need it, Tesla needs it, and the world needs it. Musk replied yesterday, tweeting, Ford and Tesla are the only 2 American car companies to avoid bankruptcy. I just got home from the factory. You think this is an option? It is not.
Tesla shares are down again this morning, although they have been kind of all over the map. This after J.P. Morgan cut its price target on the stock. The firm saying it now believes funding was not secured for a going private transaction.
Tesla suppliers, they are said to be increasingly worried about the company's finances. This coming to, according to a private survey seen by the Wall Street Journal, 18 of 22 suppliers now believe that Tesla is at financial risk to their companies.
Small fire broke out late yesterday at a Tesla auto factory in Fremont, California. Tesla spokesperson says some cardboard and shipping materials being prepared for recycling on the fence line caught fire. No injuries were reported.
This was a Friday night news dump. Late at night is when the company posted a blog post from Elon Musk, essentially saying, we're going to be staying a publicly traded company, and here's the reasons why. We're not going to go into all of them. Some of them revolved around his concern about the company being too distracted about trying to go private, whether or not certain shareholders would be able to participate in taking a stake in the company if it remained a private corporation. One statement from Elon Musk maybe summarizes everything the best when he writes, I knew the process of going private would be challenging, but it's clear that it would be even more time-consuming and distracting than initially anticipated.